Landed in the USA with no English. Desperate, I started buying burgers for a homeless man, who talked to me for hours. This bizarre deal didn't just teach me a language, it saved us both. So yeah, let me tell you how I learned English, by basically bribing a homeless guy with burgers. No joke. My name is Alex, and I landed in Philadelphia 5 years ago with $300, a suitcase, and an English vocabulary that could fit on a napkin. Seriously, I knew hello, thank you, and McDonald's. That last one seemed crucial at the time. The airport was chaos, just noise and people moving fast. I tried asking for directions to a cheap place to stay. I think I said hotel small money please. The guy just pointed at a bus. I got on, no idea where it was going. Ended up in some area with buildings that looked tired, you know. Found a motel. The sign said weekly rates. The guy behind the glass, thick glasses, didn't smile. I pointed at the sign and said sleep here money. He said something fast. I caught $80 and dollars. I handed over cash for 1 week. Room smelled like old cigarettes and disappointment. But it had a bed. My first real mistake with English happened the next morning. I was starving. Found a place, a diner. Waitress came over, friendly, said something like, "What can I get you, honey?" Menu was confusing. I saw the words Diet and Coke separately. I wanted a Diet Coke. I pointed at the words and said, "I want Diet Coke, please." Her smile vanished. She looked scared. I didn't get why. Later, I learned. Yeah, I wanted to die of embarrassment right there. I ate my eggs in silence, pointing at things. Felt like an idiot. That whole week was like that. Trying to buy soap, I said soup. Trying to find a park, I think I asked for pork. People either laughed or looked annoyed. I started just nodding and smiling a lot. Felt invisible and stupid. My money was disappearing fast. I needed food cheap. Someone mentioned Walmart. Big store, cheap food. Sounded good. Walked there. It was huge, overwhelming. Bought some bread, peanut butter, cheap stuff. Came out, sat on a low wall near the parking lot to eat. That's when I saw him. An older guy, sitting on the ground a few feet away, leaning against a light post. He had a gray beard, messy, a worn-out blue jacket, and a baseball cap pulled low. Looked tired. He nodded at me. Just a small nod. I nodded back, didn't know what to do. Saw he had an empty paper cup near him. Felt awkward eating my sandwich while he sat there. On impulse, I stood up, went back into Walmart, bought 2 of those cheap microwave burgers. They were like $1 each. Came out, walked over to him. He looked up, wary. I held out 1 burger. He stared at it, then at me. I said, "Food for you." My terrible accent. He slowly reached out and took it. "Thank you," he said, clear and slow. "You are welcome," I managed. I sat back down on my wall, started eating my own burger. He unwrapped his, took a big bite. Then he just started talking. Like a faucet turned on. "Hey, thanks for this, man, real decent of you. Name's Jim. Haven't had one of these in a couple days. You new around here. That accent sounds Russian or something. I've been coming to this spot 10 years, since the accident. Used to build things, you know. Concrete. Good money. Then boom, ladder slipped. Back messed up. Pain pills led to other stuff, lost the job, lost the apartment. Wife took the kids. California, I think. Tough break. But hey, sun's out today. You like baseball? The Phillies stink this year." Just kept going. Words, words, words. A river of words. I understood maybe 1 word in 10. Gym. Build. Money. Accident. Wife. California. Baseball. I just nodded, trying to follow the sounds, catching familiar words like fish in a fast stream. He finished his burger, crumpled the wrapper. Still talking. "You seem like a good kid. Where are you from exactly? What brings you to lovely Philadelphia?" I tried to answer. "Ukraine. I am from Ukraine. Came for work. Need learn English. Very hard." He laughed, not meanly. "Oh yeah. English is nuts. Why they say read like read, but also read like read. Makes no sense." I nodded vigorously. "Yes. No sense." He asked my name. "Alex," I said. "Nice to meet you, Alex from Ukraine." He shifted, winced a little. "So, Alex from Ukraine, what you doing tomorrow?" "Same time. I bring the conversation, you bring the burgers. Deal." He grinned. I understood, deal. I needed this. Someone actually talking to me, slowly, repeating things. Okay, I said. Deal. Tomorrow. Same time. I bring burgers. He gave a thumbs up. You are on. Now scram, kid. I got important sitting here to do. I walked back to my motel, feeling something I hadn't felt since landing. A tiny spark. Not hope exactly, but maybe a direction. Buy burgers. Listen to Jim. Learn words. It was a plan. A weird plan, but a plan. The next day, I was back at Walmart at the same time. Bought 2 burgers again. Jim was already there. Same spot. He saw me coming, waved. Alex. Burger man. Right on time. I like punctuality. Sit down. Tell me about Ukraine. Is it cold? Do you have baseball? And off he went again. I handed him his burger, sat on my wall, and listened. Really listened this time. Trying to hear the sounds, match them to words I half knew. He asked simple questions, waited for my broken answers, then launched into another story. About his dog when he was a kid, about the best cheesesteak in Philly which he claimed was near here but the place closed down, about how much he hated pigeons. I learned the word pigeon that day, and cheesesteak, and hate. It was slow, painfully slow sometimes, but he kept talking, for hours, every day. I bought the burgers. He supplied the words. My weird, smelly English school in a Walmart parking lot. Who knew? So Jim became my weird homeless English professor. Every single day, rain or cold, I showed up at that Walmart parking lot with 2 cheap burgers. He was always there by that light pole, leaning against it like it was holding him up, and he talked. Man, did he talk. At first, it was just noise. A river of words I couldn't understand. I nodded a lot, smiled stupidly, and caught maybe 1 word in 10. Jim from Build, Jim from Accident, Jim from California. Wife. Kids. Baseball. Phillies stink. Words floated by. But slowly, very slowly, things started sticking. He saw me struggling. He started pointing. Pointed at his cap, said cap. Pointed at my jacket, said jacket. Pointed at the sky, said sky. Simple things. He repeated things. A lot. He said, how are you doing, Alex, about 50 times a day, until I finally croaked back. I am doing okay. Jim, how are you doing? He grinned like I won a prize. That felt good, real good, better than understanding anything. He taught me the small words, the glue words. The, and, but, because. He taught me not to say I want Diet Coke. Diet Coke, he said, slow and clear. Diet. Like dying but different. Got it. One day, trying to be smart, I saw a piece of paper blow by. I said, look, Jim, paper. He laughed. Yeah, paper. Or trash. Or, if it is clean, maybe sheet. Sheet of paper. Okay, sheet. Later I needed to buy some bed things for my motel room. I went to a store, found a lady. I said, I need sheet for bed. She looked confused. Sheet? For bed? Yes, I said. Bed sheet. She still looked puzzled. Maybe soft sheet? I tried. She led me to the bedding. Ah, she said. Sheets! You want sheets? Yes, I said, sheets. She smiled. Then she asked, what size? Size? I did not know size. I said big size for big bed. She looked at me. Double. Queen. King. I panicked. King, I said. Biggest. She nodded, got king-size sheets. Later, telling Jim, he nearly choked laughing. Kid, he wheezed, you said you needed shit for bed? You told that poor woman you needed shit? Soft shit? Big shit? King-size shit. Oh, man. I felt my face burn. Sheet and shit. Sounds same but different. Very different. Do not mix up sheet and shit, Alex. Important life lesson. He laughed for 10 minutes. I learned that day. And I learned to laugh at myself, too. It was not just words. He told stories, real stories, sad stories. How he fell off that ladder pouring concrete for a new building downtown. How his back broke. How the company did not help much. How the doctor gave him pills, strong pills, oxy something, helped the pain, then helped too much, needed more, lost his job, could not work, pills cost money, sold stuff, lost apartment. Wife Angie took the kids, Mikey and little Sarah, back to her mother in California. Last he heard, Mikey was playing baseball. Good kid. Jim would get quiet then, stare at his hands, dirty hands, rough hands, hands that used to build things. He would sigh, then he would shake it off, talk about the weather, talk about the pigeons he hated, talk about the best cheesesteak place that closed. He asked about Ukraine. Simple things. Weather? Cold, I said. Like here, but more snow. Food? Borscht, I said. He made a face. Soup with beets? Weird, but okay. Family? Mom? Dad? Sister? Far away. Miss them? He nodded. Yeah, miss mine too. Even Angie sometimes, though she was loud. Those hours were my school. Sitting on that dirty wall, cold concrete under me, eating a cheap burger, listening to Jim. Learning English from the street. Learning America from a broken man. After a month, I could understand maybe half. After 2 months, I could string sentences together. Slow, broken sentences, but real sentences, not just words. I could tell him about my day, simple things. I go store, I buy milk. Man, say hello. I say hello back. Jim would correct me. Went to the store, bought milk. The man said hello, I said hello back. Okay. Went to store, bought milk. The man said hello, I said hello back. Good. Better. He was tough sometimes. No baby talk. He wanted it right. Said I would sound stupid otherwise. Did not want his star pupil sounding stupid. Star pupil. That made me smile. One big victory came in the 3rd month. I needed to wash clothes. My motel had a smelly laundry room. One machine. Broken. I found a laundromat. Place with many machines. I walked in. Lady behind counter looked busy. I needed soap. The box said detergent. I remembered that word. Jim talked about cleaning his old jacket once. Detergent. I walked up. Took a breath. Hello. I need detergent, please. For washing machine. She looked up. Okay. What kind? What kind? I did not know kinds. I pointed at a big box. That kind? Big kind. She smiled. For heavy duty? Lots of clothes? Yes, I said. Heavy duty. Lots of clothes. She got the box. That is $7.49. I paid. She handed me the box. Thank you, she said. You are welcome, I said. And I walked out. Normal. Simple. But I did it. No pointing, no stupid mistakes. I understood her. She understood me. I almost ran back to Jim. I told him fast, excited. Laundromat. Detergent. Heavy duty. $7.49. She understood. I talked. Jim slapped his knee. Yes. See? Told you. You got it, kid. You are talking. He looked proud. Genuinely proud. Like he built something. I felt like I did too. I built a bridge with words. That night, back in my smelly motel room, I felt different. Less lost. America felt less huge, less scary. Jim did that. A broken man on a Walmart sidewalk gave me that. So yeah, I was learning, really learning. English wasn't just noise anymore. It was tools. Tools to ask for detergent. Tools to understand the bus driver. Tools to maybe find a real job someday. And it was all thanks to Jim. Just a burger a day. Felt cheap, man. Way too cheap for what he was giving me. One afternoon, after he finished telling me about the time he saw a raccoon steal a hot dog right from some guy's hand at a Phillies game, I gathered my courage. Jim, I said, thank you for teaching me, but burgers are small. I want help you. Maybe find place to sleep? Warm place? I know shelters. The smile vanished from his face faster than that raccoon with the hot dog. He looked away, fiddled with the edge of his worn jacket. Nah, kid, he said, his voice rough like gravel. Don't need that. Shelters are loud. Full of trouble. Bad memories sometimes. I'm good right here. Know the spot. Know the rhythms. He patted the concrete next to him. Got my routines. I pushed a little. Careful. But winter comin'. Cold. Maybe help find program? Help with papers? He shook his head, a slow, firm movement. Alex, look at me. I ain't some charity case for you to fix. I made choices. Good ones, bad ones, stupid ones. Bottle after the pills, after the pain. Lost Angie, lost the kids, lost the life. That's on me, my mess. You? He pointed a finger at me, not angry, but intense. You're different. You're building something, learning the words, getting your feet under you, watching you figure it out. That's something. That's my thanks right there. Don't need your pity burgers turning into pity housing. Just keep showing up, keep talking. That's payment enough. Man, that hit me hard. He wasn't just teaching me English. He was giving me purpose in his own broken way. And I was giving him an audience, a connection, something to look forward to besides the next bottle. Okay, I said. Okay, no pity, just burgers. And talk. He grinned then, the tension gone. Damn right. Now, tell me again about that borscht soup. Beets? Seriously, weirdest damn thing. Life settled into this strange rhythm. Me working crappy cash jobs I found by pointing and nodding mostly, saving every penny, still living in the motel that smelled less like disappointment and more like, well, still not great, but mine. Jim and me, parked outside Walmart, rain or shine. My English kept getting smoother. I could tell longer stories about back home, about my sister annoying me, about the weird American habit of putting ice in everything. He laughed, corrected my grammar, told more of his own tales. Some funny, some sad, all real. But I started noticing little things, small changes. The paper bag with the bottle showed up less often. Some days, his eyes were clearer, less foggy. He started shaving that wild beard a bit more often, with a cheap disposable razor, just trimming it down. One Tuesday, he wasn't at the light pole. Panic shot through me. Was he sick? Hurt? Did something happen? I waited an hour, pacing, the burgers getting cold. Finally, I saw him walking slowly up the sidewalk, not from his usual direction. He looked tired, but clean. Hey, Burgerman, he called out, a bit breathless. Sorry, had an appointment. Appointment? I asked, handing him the cold burger. He took it, unwrapped it. Yeah, over at the clinic. Free checkup thing. Figured, he shrugged, took a bite. Figured maybe I should know if this old engine is gonna quit anytime soon. Just routine, kid, don't get excited. But he went. He never used to go. He hated doctors, said they just pushed more pills. Another time, he showed up with a library book. A beat-up paperback mystery. Saw it lying on a bench, he explained. Thought I'd try reading again. Been a while, my eyes ain't what they used to be. He struggled sometimes, squinting at the small print. I'd help him with a word here and there. The student helping the teacher. It felt good. Strange, but good. He started talking about the past less, about the accident, and Angie and the kids. More about the book, about the stupid pigeons, about how the new guy who sometimes sat near the other entrance had a laugh like a donkey. He seemed lighter, not fixed, not magically sober and housed, but present. More there. One chilly afternoon, he was quieter than usual, just picking at his burger. You okay, Jim? I asked. He sighed, looked out at the busy parking lot. Yeah, just thinking. Been talking to this social worker lady sometimes. She comes around, nice enough, persistent, like a mosquito. He chuckled softly. She keeps yapping about programs. Counseling, maybe some temp work, light stuff. Says my back might qualify me for some help. Disability. Thing is, he trailed off, crumpling the burger wrapper. Thing is, she might be right. Maybe not all programs are shelters full of yelling. Maybe I could try something. Not for me, really. He looked at me, really looked at me. But maybe I don't want to be just the sad drunk story in your head when you make it big someday. Alex, from Ukraine. Maybe I want to be the guy who helped you get there and got his own damn self a little less lost, too. Is that crazy? My throat got tight. No, Jim, I said, my voice thick. Not crazy. That sounds really good. He nodded like he was convincing himself. Yeah. Okay. Might talk to that mosquito lady again next week. See what bites. He finished his burger in silence after that, but it wasn't a sad silence. It felt like the quiet before you start building something. Then Jim vanished. Just gone. One Tuesday, no Jim. Wednesday, still no Jim. Thursday morning, same empty spot by the light pole. The panic wasn't slow this time. It hit like a brick. Was it the cold? Did he get sick? Did something bad happen? I asked the other guy near the other entrance, the one with the donkey laugh. Seen Jim? He just shrugged, mumbled something about maybe cops moving people along sometimes. Not helpful. I tried the clinic he mentioned. They couldn't tell me anything. Patient confidentiality. Frustration clawed at me. Where do you even look for a missing homeless man in a huge city? Friday afternoon, after another useless shift sweeping floors where nobody talked much, I walked back to the Walmart parking lot, hoping against hope. Still empty. Then I remembered the social worker. The mosquito lady, Jim called her. He never gave a name, but maybe I went inside Walmart, found a manager, tried to explain. My friend, Jim, graybeard, cap, sits outside. Missing. Worried. No social worker who talks to him? The manager, a tired-looking woman, sighed. Might be Gloria. From the outreach van. Comes Tuesdays and Fridays. Should be here soon, actually. I waited by the doors, pacing. Sure enough, a beat-up white van pulled up an hour later. A woman with short gray hair and kind eyes got out. Gloria? I asked, rushing over. She looked surprised. Yes? You need help? I explained fast. Jim. My friend. Taught me English. Burgers. Missing since Tuesday. Very worried. She listened intently, her expression shifting from surprise to concern. Jim? Older gentleman? Graybeard? Cap? Yes, I said. Yes, that's him. She frowned. Oh dear, I saw him Monday. He wasn't feeling well. Mentioned chest pains. I urged him to go to Mercy General. Insisted, actually. Said he'd think about it. Mercy General. I knew that hospital. Big building downtown. Thank you, I yelled, already running towards the bus stop. I didn't have money for a taxi. The bus ride felt endless. Every stop, every red light was torture. Mercy General loomed ahead, gray and busy. I rushed inside, breathless, heading straight for the information desk. I need find Jim. Older man. Came in maybe Tuesday? Chest pains? Homeless? The woman behind the desk typed slowly. Last name? I didn't know Jim's last name. I never asked. My heart sank. Jim, I repeated. Graybeard. Probably came alone. She scanned her screen. James Miller? Admitted Tuesday night through emergency. Chest pains. Observation floor. Room 412. James Miller. Jim had a last name. Room 412. I found the elevators, jabbing the button. The hallway on the 4th floor smelled sharp, clean. I found room 412. The door slightly ajar. I pushed it open slowly. There he was, propped up in the narrow hospital bed, looking smaller than ever, washed out in the harsh light. Tubes snaked from his arm. His beard was messy, his face pale. But he was awake. He turned his head, saw me. A slow, weak smile spread across his face. Well, look what the cat dragged in, he rasped, his voice thin but familiar. Took you long enough, Burger Man. Relief flooded me, so strong my knees wobbled. I walked over, grabbing the plastic chair by the bed. Jim, you scared me. What happened? Just this old ticker acting up, he said, tapping his chest lightly. Too many cheap burgers, probably. Doctor says it was angina. Not a heart attack, thank God. Just a warning shot. Needs rest. Needs to lay off the stress. And the bottle, obviously. He looked tired, but his eyes were clear, focused. I'm sorry, I started, but he cut me off. Don't you dare. Not your fault. My choices. My mess. Remember? He paused, took a shallow breath. But maybe getting knocked on my backside here makes you think, makes you listen. To that mosquito lady Gloria. She's been buzzing around here too. He managed a faint chuckle. Turns out she's got some decent ideas. They got me talking to a counselor here. About the pills, about the booze, about Angie, the kids. Heavy stuff. And they found something. Paperwork from way back. Disability thing. Might actually come through this time. Gloria's helping. Might get a little place. Tiny thing. Section 8 housing. Not the Ritz, but walls. A roof. He looked at me, his eyes suddenly fierce. Don't you go getting all weepy on me. Still got a long way to go. But he reached a shaky hand towards the small table beside the bed. There was a worn, thin paperback book there, dog-eared, stained, the corner of the cover bent almost in half. He nudged it towards me. Here, meant to give you this before the whole heart alarm thing. Didn't get the chance. I picked it up. A very old, basic English grammar book. It smelled faintly of smoke and damp. On the inside of the front cover, in Jim's familiar messy scrawl, not old pencil but fresh, dark ink, were 2 words: build something. My throat tightened instantly. I looked at him. Jim? What? He coughed, a dry sound. Found it couple days ago, he rasped, down by the bridge where those guys sometimes camp. Bunch of fools trying to light a fire with wet wood in that book. All damp. Wouldn't catch for crap. Just making smoke. He took a shallow breath, his eyes meeting mine. Saw the title. Grammar. Basic English. Thought, hell, thought of you. Stupid kid, still mixing up his theirs and theirs sometimes. Waste just burning it. Told him give it here. Tossed it to me like trash. Which it was. To them. He managed a weak flicker of his old grin. Meant to bring it next time. Give you hell about studying. Then, well. Ticker decided to throw a tantrum. He paused, his gaze intense on the book in my hands. So, you take it. Read the damn thing. Cover to cover. Fix those little mistakes. Don't make me sound like a bad teacher, just 'cause I almost kicked the bucket. His voice dropped, rough but clear. And remember what it says on the inside, kid. Build something. Walls. A life. Whatever. Just build it good. Better than I did. Don't waste the words. Or the chances. He sank back into the pillow, looking exhausted but satisfied. Now get going. Hospitals stink. And next time, bring a burger. Real one. This place feeds you sadness on a tray. I clutched the book, the words build something burning against my palm. It wasn't just a grammar book anymore. It was a lifeline thrown across a rainy night, a teacher's last assignment. A command from a man who knew exactly what it meant to have foundations crumble. Yeah, Jim, I whispered, my voice thick. I will. Biggest burger. Extra everything. He closed his eyes, the ghost of a smile playing on his lips. Damn right you will. Go build. I walked out of that room, out of the hospital, back into the noisy Philadelphia streets. It was cold, but the sun was trying to shine. I held onto that stupid, beat-up grammar book like it was gold. My diploma from the weirdest, smelliest, most important school I'd ever attend. So I walked out of Mercy General Hospital, that beat-up old grammar book clutched tight in my hand. The cold Philly air hit my face, but it felt different now. Cleaner. Sharper. Jim Miller. He had a last name now. And he was alive. Angina, not a heart attack. A warning, he called it. Like his body finally screamed loud enough for him to hear. Back at my still smelly motel room, I opened the book. Build something. I traced the faded letters. Them and those. Who and whom. Common errors in English. Don't make me sound like a bad teacher, he'd said. I started reading. Right there. Cover to cover. It wasn't exciting, but it felt important. Like honoring a promise. Like building something solid. I visited Jim every other day after work. Hospital policy, they said. But Gloria, the social worker, she smoothed things over. Jim looked better each time. Less gray, more color in his face. The tubes disappeared. He grumbled about the food, the tests, the boredom. Same old Jim, just stuck in a bed instead of by his light pole. He asked about the book. Quizzed me. Did you get to the part about possessive apostrophes yet? That one trips everyone up. Don't screw it up. I showed him my notes, my scribbles in a cheap notebook. He nodded, pretending not to be pleased. Good. Keep at it. He talked more about Gloria's plan. The disability paperwork was moving, slowly. Section 8 housing list was long, but he was on it. A studio apartment, maybe. Tiny. But his own. With a door that locked. He said it like it was a foreign concept, something he barely remembered. One day, he was quieter than usual, just staring out the window at the gray hospital parking lot. You okay, Jim? I asked, setting down the slightly better burger I'd smuggled in. He turned, looked at me. Yeah, just thinking. Gloria was here earlier, talking about next steps. After this place, there's a program. Short term. Kind of a halfway house thing. Counseling. Help staying clean. Help figuring out the apartment stuff when it comes. He rubbed his face. Sounds complicated. Scary almost. Like relearning how to walk. But he took a deep breath. But maybe it's time. Maybe the warning shot was loud enough. I can't go back to that pole, Alex. Not after this. Not after you running around looking for me. He looked embarrassed for a second. You did good, kid. Finding me. Thanks. I just nodded. Where is this place? Not far, he said. Couple bus rides. Still in the city. Gloria will help with the move, if it happens. They got rules. Curfews. Chores. Group meetings. Sounds like prison with better intentions. He tried to laugh, but it sounded thin. But walls. A roof. A real bed. Maybe I can finish that damn library book. I smiled. That sounds good, Jim. Really good. He managed a small smile back. Yeah, maybe it does. The day came for him to leave the hospital. Gloria was there with a small duffel bag of donated clothes that almost fit. Jim looked different. Washed, shaved properly, wearing clean jeans and a sweater. He looked vulnerable, like a kid on the first day of school. Awkward in his own skin outside the hospital gown. Well, he said, shuffling his feet, this is it. Off to the funny farm. Don't be a stranger, kid. Bring burgers sometimes. The good kind. I will, I promised. Every week. Same as always. Just a different location. He clapped me on the shoulder, his grip still weak, but firm. You focus on your building, Alex. Get out of that stinkhole motel. Find a real job with that English of yours. Build something. He looked around the hospital hallway, then back at me. You made a difference, you know. More than just burgers. Gave this old wreck something to do besides feel sorry for himself. Gave me a reason to look up for a minute. Now go. Gloria's van is probably double parked. He turned and walked slowly down the hall with Gloria, not looking back. I stood there for a long time after they turned the corner. The grammar book was heavy in my bag. My diploma from the sidewalk school. Months passed. Jim's program was tough. He called sometimes from a payphone at the house. Grumbled about the rules, the other guys, the group therapy. But he sounded clear, present. He talked about the counseling, about facing the stuff he'd buried in bottles for years. It was hard, really hard, but he was sticking with it. The disability came through. Small check, but something. He was still on the housing list. Waiting. I finally moved out of the motel, found a tiny room in a shared apartment with 2 students. It was cheap, noisy, but it had a window that didn't stick, and no weird smells. I got a better job, working in a warehouse office. Using my English. Doing paperwork. Talking to people. Normal stuff. I kept visiting Jim at the halfway house. Bringing burgers. Sitting in their small, slightly shabby common room instead of on a dirty wall. We talked. About my job. About his group. About the Phillies still stinking. About how weird it felt to sleep in the same bed every night. He was getting there. Slowly. One foot in front of the other. Like learning a language. Like building a life, one word, one brick at a time. I still have that grammar book. On my shelf. Next to my first real English novel I bought myself. Build something. I open it sometimes. Not just to check a rule, though that too, but to remember where the words really started. On a cold sidewalk, with a cheap burger and a broken man who decided, just for a little while, to be a teacher.